do not want to sound cocky when I'm talking about my woodworking.
When news began to circulate that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce might be taking their relationship to the next level, the entertainment world lit up with speculation. Both of them are among the most recognizable figures in their fields. Taylor, a global pop icon whose lyrics often capture the pain and beauty of love, and Travis, an NFL superstar celebrated for his skill and charisma. Together,
Swift's team and Swift herself, they put this out and they genuinely just didn't know what they were doing.
represent the intersection of two massive worlds, music and sports. But as the talk of marriage gained momentum, a quieter and more complicated discussion began to form in the background, one centered on a possible prenuptial agreement. For many, the word prenup instantly brings tension. It evokes questions about trust, loyalty, and the very foundation of love. Yet, for two people as successful as Taylor and Travis, it's also a matter of practical necessity. With Taylor's empire estimated in the hundreds of millions and Travis's growing financial influence through endorsements, contracts, and brand ventures, the topic was bound to surface sooner or later. Reports began to emerge from entertainment insiders, suggesting that discussions about a prenup were not only happening.
Both of you are independently wealthy and there's really no need whatsoever to create marital property or jointly held property like community property. So a prenup that turns that definition on its head would be a wise move.
But had already become a serious part of their private conversations. Those close to the couple described it as a healthy, realistic step, not a sign of distrust. They said both Taylor and Travis were determined to protect what they had built individually before uniting their lives publicly and legally. Taylor, who has always been a careful planner, understands the value of financial independence better than most. After years of public relationships and intense media scrutiny, she's learned to approach love with both heart and reason. Her previous experiences from industry battles over music rights to the emotional turbulence that inspired entire albums have taught her that even the most romantic love stories exist within a real world governed by contracts, lawyers, and consequences. Travis, on the other hand, comes from a culture where the concept of marriage often intertwines with family legacy and public image. As a professional,
I did do sort of an interpretive reading of the lyrics for my wife.
Athlete in the NFL, he's had to navigate fame, wealth, and temptation from an early stage in his career. He's no stranger to financial advisors and business negotiations, and those around him say he's a straightforward and respectful person when it comes to discussing serious matters. That's why, to many insiders, it seemed natural that the couple would want to clarify their finances before making any lifelong commitments. Still, the idea of a prenup stirred strong emotions among fans. Some viewed it as a sad but necessary safeguard, while others saw it as a hint that the couple might already be preparing for what could go wrong. On social media, opinions were split. "They're just being smart," one fan wrote, defending the move. Another commented, "If you're planning forever, why start with a..."
I think if somebody wrote a song about me, it'd be like, Japanese maple, sometimes can see.
contract that assumes it could end. The debate quickly
My fucking problem immediately. So these lightning bolts are not normal lightning bolts. They are specifically SS lightning bolts. Okay? It is not ambiguous. That is exactly what it is. And then if you'll look, there are 8 of them. Why does that matter? Because H is the 8th letter in the alphabet. Many Nazi, neo-Nazi circles, gangs will put 8, meaning Hitler. They'll put it in their bios. They'll tattoo it on their bodies. They'll put it on their motorcycles, their leather jackets. My dad was in a white supremacist gang. He had these tattoos.
Turned into a reflection of how society views love and money, especially in relationships between high-profile figures. For Taylor, this kind of public dissection isn't new. Throughout her career, she's faced countless commentaries about her personal life. Yet what makes this moment different is how mature and deliberate both she and Travis have appeared. Instead of fueling drama, they've kept quiet, focusing on their respective careers while letting the world speculate. Taylor has been spotted supporting Travis at games, while he's been seen attending her shows during the Eras tour. Their body language relaxed, affectionate, but grounded suggests a relationship that values stability over spectacle. Behind that calm image, however, lies a complex reality. If a prenup is truly being discussed, the process involves more than just paperwork. It means sitting down with legal teams, financial advisors, and sometimes even family members. It requires honesty about assets, future income, royalties, and intellectual property, topics that can make even the strongest couples uncomfortable. But it also reveals a deeper kind of trust, the willingness to face uncomfortable truths together. Before they can become sources of conflict later on, sources close to both camps have emphasized that the talks are not about mistrust, but mutual respect. Taylor's business team reportedly supports the idea, seeing it as a way to protect not only her personal finances but also the creative control she's fought to reclaim in recent years. After all, her decision to re-record her old albums was not just about ownership, it was about autonomy. For someone who has built her career on independence and resilience, ensuring that autonomy continues into her personal life seems entirely consistent for Travis. Entering a prenup discussion doesn't appear to threaten his pride. Friends describe him as confident enough to appreciate Taylor's independence. He knows she's built something historic, one insider said. He respects that. And he's not trying to live off her success, he's building his own legacy, despite their seemingly perfect harmony. The media has been quick to point out that celebrity prenups rarely stay private for long. History has shown how easily leaked details can cause misunderstandings or turn supportive fans into critics. The same outlets that once celebrated their romance could just as easily twist legal negotiations into signs of trouble. That's part of the challenge every famous couple faces, maintaining privacy in a world that profits from speculation. As the conversation grows, legal experts have begun to weigh in publicly. Family law specialists often describe prenups as insurance policies for emotional investments. They don't predict failure, they prevent chaos if the unexpected ever happens. For people like Taylor and Travis, whose public lives are intertwined with multi-million-dollar contracts, brand deals, and fan expectations, that protection is essential. Interestingly, Taylor has addressed themes of independence and security in her music long before this situation arose. Songs like The Archer, Daylight, and Bejeweled explore the tension between vulnerability and power, love and self-worth. In a way, the idea of a prenup aligns with
Who Are We Kidding? Would. Great song. Do I need that much detail? Specifically about my brother-in-law? Good job, Trav! That's it! 1,000% yes, that's women supporting women. Proud of ya.
the emotional wisdom found in her lyrics, the belief that love can coexist with boundaries. Still, it's impossible to ignore the emotional weight that accompanies such a decision. Even if handled maturely, discussing a prenup forces a couple to confront uncomfortable what-ifs. It's a test of emotional maturity. Can love remain pure when faced with practical realities? For Taylor and Travis, that's the delicate balance they seem to be managing right now. People close to the pair have suggested that these conversations are not slowing down their relationship. On the contrary, they might be strengthening it. The willingness to talk about hard topics early on could lay the groundwork for something more stable in the future. In an era where many relationships are built on illusion, their approach feels grounded. Still, the entertainment world thrives on unpredictability. Even when celebrities appear calm, the smallest rumor can spiral into chaos over.
My favorites on the album are definitely Wishlist, Opalite, and Who Are We Kidding? Would.
Overnight. As of now, there's no official confirmation of an engagement, marriage plans, or a signed prenup. But the consistent sightings of the two together, from concerts to casual dinners, have kept hope alive among fans that this relationship is built on something genuine. What stands out most in this unfolding story is not the contract itself, but the attitude surrounding it. It reflects a modern shift in how love is